This video is sponsored by Incogn, a service that helps you take back control over your personal data, but more on that later. There's this person I follow on Instagram that a couple of weeks ago posted about now being a sober alcoholic for 13 years. I'm not sure what she'd want to be in this video, so I'll leave her anonymous. But for this anniversary, she wrote in her Instagram post about taking alcohol out of her life and what that had meant. Basically, she said that the space that alcohol left behind when she cut it out of her life has since been filled with other things. These things she showed in the photos of the post, and I mean, not much can be as inspiring as seeing what overcoming alcoholism has meant for her. Her addiction took up too much of her valuable space. She wanted to free up that space for other things, and she did, for 13 years now. So naturally, that made me think, what things take up space in my life that I want to get rid of to free up space for things I want more of? And you, what about you as well? This is something that I've actually noticed myself organically, just from having the work and lifestyle that I do, that the unhealthy cravings I get for things that might give me an immediate sense of satisfaction, but will mess things up long term, like unhealthy foods, spending money irresponsibly, alcohol, too little sleep, not exercising in a way that makes my body strong enough to handle the everyday. Those cravings, basically to lie on the sofa with a bowl of crisps, watching dramatic reality TV with a glass of wine. Like sure, those things are wonderful to do once in a while, and I'm not actually seeking to get rid of those cravings because those cravings are not strong enough or frequent enough to cause me any trouble. But there are other things I do that definitely cause me trouble and make my life less enjoyable or healthy overall. So I've made a list. I mean, you know me, of course I have. 3 things that I want to consume less of, and 3 things that I want to fill that space with. So let's see if you agree with mine or if you have other modes of consuming that you like to replace. My by far most unhealthy consumption is my phone. I spend too much time on it. It's an addiction, like it's designed to be addictive, and yes, it is, as I'm sure most of you would agree. The problem is that this isn't like one of those addictions we can just stop. Our phones will be in our lives, like realistically. This isn't an addiction that we can overcome. It's more an addiction we need to manage. So if we think about this, if we could like calibrate it perfectly, what do we want from our phones? Me, I need it for work. Like I connect with you, I meet other authors, I talk about my novels, and those are of course all wonderful things. But I also want it to be a source of inspiration and creative ideas and a way to stay like involved with the world, as in news and trends and just seeing what everyone else is fascinated with at the moment. I also want to listen to music and podcasts when I work out and the occasional audiobook when I'm out walking. But that's basically it. What I don't want from it is endlessly scrolling cat videos, and I definitely don't want the doom scrolling, and equally as bad the comparing yourself to others. So the 2 reasons why the phone is unhealthy for me is the comparing myself to others, which invariably makes me unhappy, and secondly, the information bombardment, making me sad, frazzled, and unable to concentrate and focus on my own life and my own present tense. So the 3 things that this frazzledness ruins for me is reading, watching films, and my sleep. Being on my phone before bed will give like this light, hectic, tense sort of sleep. And my reading is short, I can't get into focus to like get to know the text. But luckily my work isn't affected by my phone because when I write, for example, I have 0 problems putting my phone away and not looking at it for hours. It's just something about creativity that cancels this like phone addiction of mine, luckily enough. So a very, very silly sounding thing that David and I have started doing to get a break from our phones in the evening, to be like able to fully and calmly sink into the film or the book, is to take our phones, set them on mute, and put them in a box. Like an actual box, a Tupperware with a lid that's like fiddly to open. From about 8, when we usually start preparing dinner, to the next morning, we, not always, but often, store away our phones and like don't look at them. Very, very silly, but so effective. And my sleep, my reading, our film watching, on point. So our undistracted attention, which means enjoying our favorite pastimes and each other's company fully. I can recommend it if you haven't tried this stupid little trick. I want to say thank you to Incogn for sponsoring this video. We all know we should try to stay on top of our digital privacy, clearing cookies, using secure passwords and the usual. But as it turns out, most of our personal information is already out there, floating around online for sale to more or less anyone who wants to buy it. And even though I try to stay very private, I still get spam calls from time to time, as well as scam emails to my highly guarded personal email address. And that's where Incogn comes in. Incogn reaches out to over 230 data brokers on your behalf and gets your information removed automatically. These aren't just random marketers. What we're talking about is companies that collect and sell your home address, phone number, income level, even information on your family. And some of that data, it will be used for scams, spam, identity theft, etc., etc. What I like about Incogn is how hands-off it is. You sign up, you give minimal information for them to find your data, and then they do all the heavy lifting. They even handle pushback from the brokers and keep you updated as your data disappears from these sites. And if you're in the US, this also includes people search sites. These sites can post full profiles of you online, including your relatives and addresses for anyone to see. Incogn removes your info from these sites too. So, if you feel that you've been getting too many spam calls or wondered how scammers knew your name, this is your moment to take back control. Go to incogn.com/Jenny and use my code Jenny for an incredible 60% off an annual plan. Thank you again to Incogn, and let's get back to the video. Whenever I'm stressed or hungry or tired, I love to do a bit of easy, mindless snacking. My go-to snacks are usually like grapes, popcorn, or whatever leftovers are in the fridge. And popcorn has its beauty, but as for nutritional value, it's not the greatest, is it? Instead of getting only very carb-heavy snacks, from the starch in the popcorn and the sugar in the grapes, I want to fill up on more thought-through snacks like cold green beans, pan-fried tofu, berries like blueberries or blackcurrants, or raw cauliflower. I mean, why not? Honestly, I find all those things equally as tasty or even more tasty than grapes and popcorn, so it's just about convenience. I need those things prepared and cut and fried already in the fridge. So I've started thinking about this. While I'm making dinner or lunch, I also prepare a bit extra for snacking, like cutting more vegetables than I need, or rinsing some strawberries, or frying extra tofu to have cold with cucumber slices. This year in general, I've come to think of it as the great year of health in the Mustard household, and eating not only to satiate hunger or for great taste, but mostly for sustenance and nutrition. I want to eat delicious food, yes, but I also want to try to spike the nutrition value. I've already done this with my main meals for over a decade, but with snacking, here's where there's room for improvement, I think. Protein, minerals, vitamins, phytochemicals, give me all of it. Also, you know that another low-key addiction of mine is my work. I love it. In fact, I'm so addicted to it that I'm hesitant to call it an addiction, because if I do, it means I will have to take measures to reduce the time and energy I spend on it. Much like any addiction, it's a love affair for me, and it's a tricky one because in contrast to most addictions that only give immediate satisfaction but makes us unhappy long term, this addiction, it makes me happy now, tomorrow, yesterday, and in years to come. My work is an investment in myself and my life, and I love it. But yes, I tend to overdo it, to the point of exhaustion. As an example, I had a 3-week flu over Christmas, and last summer I had first COVID for 2 weeks, then a nasty cold just a few weeks later. I'm also in general overworked, which means I get easier stressed, and it affects my sleep sometimes, and it gives me tunnel vision where my focus is so on work and my love for it is so intense that I disregard other aspects of life. I'm exaggerating a little bit here. I'm not that much of a workaholic. I mean, I don't work late at night and I get most weekends off nowadays, but I think the thing is that even when I have days off, my mind is preoccupied with work, not because I have to, but because I want to. So in many, many ways, I'm lucky to have found something I care so much about. It's just, I have a bit of an intense personality this way, like a dog with a bone. I don't want to change this at all. I love this about myself. I just want to modify slightly so that I'm not jeopardizing health. Time off, dates with David, seeing friends, calling Sweden on the phone. It's not quantum physics, it's just getting out of the work bubble now and again. But do you agree with me that if we want to reduce a craving, what we consume and how we consume it, we also need to think about what to fill the empty space with? Because if we just cut out an addiction, like a bad shopping behavior for example, we're leaving a hole that will fill with something else. That's just how it works. So why not be mindful of what that is that we're filling the hole with? And I think for me, looking at this list, for me it seems to be quality, like quality time reading, conversations with other people, quality nutrients that will make me feel good. I mean, it goes without saying that what we want is to consume things that are good for us, both satisfying in the moment, but also that does us well long term. Like 13 years from now, if I post a carousel on Instagram showing what I've been consuming the last decade, I wouldn't want those photos to be of me on my phone eating popcorn, feeling overworked. What I want is books, films, friends, tofu, and dates with David. And work too, absolutely. It's an addiction, but a good one. Enough about me now. I want to know, what do you want to consume less of to make more room for something else? Come on, it has to be your phone, doesn't it? Anyone out there who doesn't nurture a low-key phone addiction? If so, teach us your ways. I can't wait to hear all about your struggles and successes when it comes to cravings and consuming bad and good things. Talk to me in the comments, of course, and thank you so much for watching today. I had fun, and also, I think this was good for me, putting my thoughts down like this. And remember, if you want to reclaim your digital privacy, go to incogn.com/Jenny and use my code Jenny for 60% off. Thanks to Incogn for supporting the channel and for helping us all stay a little safer online. Okay, I hope to see you next week already. Take care to then. Bye bye bye.